Leo's different kind of magic. This is Leo. Leo sees the world a little differently from everyone else. He loves counting things, like how there are 17 tiles between the classroom door and the drinking fountain. He loves the way the ceiling fan spins in perfect circles. And he really loves his soft, stripy corduroy pants. They make him feel calm and safe. But sometimes the world around Leo can feel too loud. Outside his house, the world was full of noises he couldn't control. Cars honking, birds chirping, leaves rustling. But the fan and the clock, together with the soft touch of his corduroy pants, made him feel safe. Leo had autism. It meant his brain worked differently from many other kids. He noticed tiny details that others missed. A crack in the sidewalk, a flicker of light across the wall, the way the books on the shelf were slightly askew. He remembered many facts, loved patterns and repetition, and took comfort in routine. But loud noises, unexpected touches, and bright lights could make him feel like the world was spinning too fast, like colors and sounds were dancing too chaotically. That was why he sometimes covered his ears, hummed softly, or counted things over and over. These were his ways of feeling safe. Today was Leo's first day of school. His stomach twisted in nervous anticipation. His mom, Sarah, peeked into the room. Her medium brown hair was tied loosely in a bun, warm brown eyes full of love, and she wore a light green blouse with comfy jeans. She had been both excited and worried all morning. "Are you ready, Leo?" she asked softly. Leo nodded, clutching his favorite dinosaur book tightly. "Yes," he whispered. When Leo arrived at school, the hallway was noisy. Lockers slammed, children shouted to each other, and shoes squeaked on the polished floor. The walls were painted bright colors, and bulletin boards displayed pictures, letters, and artwork. It was exciting, but also very scary for Leo. In the classroom, Mrs. Reed, a warm woman with a neat brown bob, soft brown eyes, a lavender blouse, and a flowing navy skirt, smiled at him. Her voice was calm and gentle. "Good morning, class. Please welcome Leo to the class," she said. Some kids wave, others whisper. Mark leans to his friend. "He's just staring at the floor. Weird," he said. Leo began to count softly because of all the noise in the classroom. He counted to calm himself down and feel safe. 1, 2, 3. 17 tiles from the door to my desk, Leo said to himself. When lunchtime came, the cafeteria erupted in sound. Trays clattered, children shouted, and chairs scraped. Leo pressed his small hands over his ears, his dark curls brushing against his palms. The humming from his throat formed a protective bubble around him, letting him survive the noise. "Beep boop, here comes Robot Boy," Mark said mockingly to Leo. Mark and his friends laugh. Leo's sandwich falls from his hand. He runs outside, hiding near a tree. Leo didn't cry. He just wanted the noise to stop. He didn't understand why being quiet and different made people so mean. Every morning, Leo used to ride the big yellow school bus, but soon even that became too hard. "Come on, Leo, find a seat, please," said the bus driver. Leo walks slowly down the aisle. A boy sticks out his leg. Leo trips and drops his books. The kids laugh. "Oops, watch your circuits, Robot Boy," said Mark, making fun of Leo with his friends. Leo picks up his books quietly, blinking fast to hold back tears. He finds a seat alone, staring out the window. Every bump of the bus felt heavier than the one before. The teasing, the noise, the laughter, it was too much for Leo's gentle world. The next morning, Sarah, Leo's mom, opens the car door for him. "Ready, sweetheart?" "I'll take you to school today," she said. "Thanks, Mom. The bus is too loud," he said. "That's okay, my love. I'll drive you every day. You're safe with me," she said to him. She buckles him in, and he looks out the window as trees pass by, feeling calm again. From that day on, Mom drove Leo to school and fetched him every afternoon. It was their quiet, peaceful time. No shouting, no teasing, just love. Later that day, Leo sits cross-legged on his bed, lining up dinosaurs. "Hard day again, sweetheart?" Leo's mom asked. "They don't like me, Mom. They call me a robot," Leo cried. "They just don't understand yet. One day, they'll see how amazing you are," Leo's mom said. She hugged him, and Leo smiled faintly and hummed. The very next day, Leo went to school happy. Leo built a tall tower of blocks, each block perfectly aligned. He concentrated deeply, hands steady. "Let's test if it's earthquake-proof," Mark sneered, and he kicked the tower down. Blocks tumbled everywhere. The class erupted in laughter. Leo froze. His tower, his order, was gone. He wanted to shout, but no words came. Slowly, he knelt to rebuild it, silently, patiently, even though it hurt. That was Leo's way. He rebuilt, always. The next day, Leo's favorite green pencil went missing. He searched every corner of the room. "Looking for this?" Mark twirled the pencil behind his back. "That's mine, please," Leo whispered softly. "You can have it if you say something like a robot," Mark teased. The class laughed. Leo didn't respond. He stayed quiet, calm, and collected. The world was noisy, but he held on to his own rhythm. Later that day, Sarah, Leo's mom, sensed that something was wrong. Sarah peeked into Leo's room. Rows of dinosaurs were lined up neatly on his shelf. He repeated the pattern over and over, seeking calm after a stormy day. "My boy shouldn't need to fix what others break," Sarah whispered. "Something has to change." Sarah met with Mrs. Reed and the principal. "Leo's being bullied every day," she said. "He's losing his sparkle." "My boy shouldn't need to fix what others break," Sarah whispered. "We'll keep an eye on it," said the principal. "That's not enough," Sarah replied firmly. "These kids need to understand him, not just watch him suffer. I will call someone who can explain to the class why Leo's personality is different." They agreed to call an autism specialist, Miss Anya. A few days later, the class sat in the library. Miss Anya smiled warmly at them. "Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about how every brain is special," she said. "Some brains love noise and surprises. Others, like Leo's, notice tiny details, remember facts, and see beauty where others don't. That's called autism." Leo looked nervous but listened carefully. "Touch the tag on your shirt. Feel it?" Miss Anya asked. The kids giggled and fumbled. "Most of you stop noticing it after a few seconds," she continued. "But Leo's brain doesn't filter it out. It might feel scratchy all day long, just like the buzz of the lights or the sound of chairs squeaking." The class went quiet. Even Mark looked uncomfortable. "Leo loves dinosaurs," Miss Anya said gently. "When he talks about them, he's not showing off, he's sharing joy." "I like dinosaurs too," Chloe whispered. "Then you already have something in common," Miss Anya smiled. "Leo's brain isn't broken, it's brilliant." The next morning, Leo sat at his desk, humming softly while Mrs. Patel read a story. Chloe whispered to Ella, "Why doesn't Leo ever look at people?" Mrs. Patel smiled. "Would you like to understand why?" "Yes, please," Chloe replied. "Sometimes looking into someone's eyes feels too strong for Leo, like a light that's too bright. He listens better when he looks away," the teacher replied. The next few days felt different. Teasing had quieted. Chloe waved at Leo. "Hi, Leo," she said. Leo hesitated, clutching his dinosaur book. "Hi, what's that one?" Chloe asked. "It's a triceratops," Leo whispered. "It had 3 horns to protect its babies." Chloe's eyes widened. "Wow, that's cool." For the first time, Leo's words were met with curiosity, not laughter. Mark watched Leo play with dinosaurs. He remembered Miss Anya's words. Teasing Leo hurt him deeply. That night, Mark thought about all the times he had been cruel. He wished he could take it all back. The next morning, Mark walked up to Leo. "Hey, Leo?" he said nervously. Yes?" Leo stammered. I'm sorry, Mark said, for calling you names and for breaking your tower. I didn't get it before, but I do now. Leo blinked. You do? Yeah, Mark said. You just see the world differently, and that's kind of awesome. Leo didn't speak. He smiled softly. Mark smiled back, feeling lighter than he had in months. The school started doing Understanding Week. Chloe shared about her love of art. Tyler spoke about feeling nervous reading aloud. When it was Leo's turn, he said softly, I like dinosaurs because they never stop being amazing. I like the way their bones tell stories, even when they're gone. The class clapped, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. At home, Sarah noticed the difference immediately. Leo laughed more, talked more, and hummed happy songs again. One evening, Sarah peeked into his room. Leo was drawing people, not dinosaurs, smiling classmates, smiling himself. That's my brave boy, she whispered. Years went by. Leo grew taller, wiser, and more confident. He graduated high school, went to college, and studied psychology and communication. He wanted to help others who saw the world as he did. One morning, grown-up Leo walked onto a stage filled with children. Dark curly hair, kind brown eyes, wearing a crisp white shirt and navy blazer, he radiated warmth and confidence. Children of all backgrounds leaned forward, curious and excited. Leo smiled. When I was your age, I was scared to go to school. I was different, and people didn't understand me. But one day, they learned what autism really means. It's not something wrong. It's just a different way of being human. He paused, letting the words sink in. Now I travel to schools to teach kids like you that kindness can change everything. The children clapped, some waving signs. Be kind, be understanding, be you. Later, under a large tree, Leo sat cross-legged. A little boy approached shyly. Mr. Leo, I cover my ears too. People laugh at me, he whispered. Leo smiled gently. I used to do that too. It's okay. You're not weird. Your brain just works differently, and that's something special. The boy smiled, hope shining in his eyes. Leo looked at the bright, open sky, full of sound and life. He had found his place in the world, and now he helped others find theirs. Being different doesn't make us less human. It makes the world more beautiful, he said. He embraced himself and others just like him for the rest of his life. Now he could handle anything life had to give, and he lived his life happily. The end.